They call it the Michigan turn, but you'll soon find it right here in Spokane. Coming up tonight, we'll tell you about the changes coming to 195.
The heck? Why would this happen? Never really happened before.
Well, homeowners near Willard Elementary School in North Spokane woke up to find their homes, garages, even their cars tagged with graffiti.
The Seahawks just announced big changes. Two Seattle icons are no longer with the team.
My first concern was my granddaughter because I saw her shrieking.
She woke up to the sound of gunshots and it looked like her car was hit. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Hi everyone, I'm Jane McCarthy. She reported those shots to police, but a week later, there are no arrests and the case is closed.
As KREM 2's Amanda Rowley reports, the homeowner is upset with that outcome.
Late Thursday night, Angie Kirk woke up to her husband yelling as he ran inside the house.
He came running into the house yelling at the top of his lungs. They shot out Tabitha's windows.
She says the shots came from the same car that was at their home earlier that day. It belonged to a man who was visiting her sister.
We came out and looked and there was glass everywhere. My daughter's windows had been shot out. There was dents and holes in the side of her driver's side.
They later found a few stray bullets inside the house. But what scares her the most is the fact that just moments before, her family was in that car.
They had just gotten out of the car for making a fast food run. And if they had been 5 minutes earlier, this could have been a whole different situation.
Angie reported what happened to police. She provided a license number, name, and description of the man they believe drove away after shooting her daughter's car.
That was the last we heard from them until I called yesterday and was informed by the desk sergeant that they closed the case. My issue with that is he had no problem endangering my life, my granddaughter, or my daughter's life by shooting a weapon into her car.
Spokane Police Sergeant Terry Pruniger looked over the police report. He tells me they closed the case because they were unable to confirm the suspect and there wasn't enough evidence. He says this made it less likely to solve the case. But he says just because the case is closed, that doesn't mean police can't reopen it. They would do this if they received more information or evidence from the incident.
I want him arrested. I'm never going to get the $500 back that the insurance company says that I can go after him for.
Police recommend Angie and her family file a protection order against this man as it may help the court and police better identify him.
I don't think he's dumb enough to come back. And if he is, I'm prepared.
Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
In other news, homeowners near Willard Elementary School woke up to find their homes, garages, even their cars vandalized with graffiti.
KREM 2's Alexa Block spoke with neighbors who are left with a big, pointless mess.
Tagging like this is all over this alleyway in this neighborhood across from Willard Elementary School, and neighbors tell me that they're concerned. They want to know who did it and why. Kimberly Says grew up in this neighborhood, but she hasn't seen anything like this.
What the heck? Why would this happen? It's never really happened before.
Neighbors, including Says, found graffiti on their cars, homes, and garages. The tagging is mostly found in an alleyway between Washington and Stevens Streets. It goes for about 2 blocks. The tagging looks to be gang-related and references drug use. It's an unsettling sight, especially when it's not too far from Willard Elementary School.
Kind of sucks. Like I used to live in a neighborhood that this happened to a lot, and for it to happen here, it's like, I thought we got rid of that when we moved.
Homeowners think it might have been some teenagers.
We do have some teenagers who like to go up and down the alleys, but usually they just walk.
The area cop shop is aware of the vandalism and it will be documented. But other than that, homeowners have to cover up the tagging themselves. Many of the homes have security cameras and lighting, but there isn't much hope the vandals will be found. Says just doesn't want this to happen again, not in her neighborhood.
We do have a camera in the backyard, so we're already at that point. I don't think there's anything else we could really do.
In Spokane, Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
Well, Washington's Attorney General just got Amazon to agree to remove toxic school supplies from its website. This comes after a state investigation found dozens of school supplies marketed to young children had high levels of toxic metals. The supplies in question include things like pencil pouches and backpacks, lunch boxes, and jewelry too.
All sellers of children's school supplies and jewelry must now, moving forward, submit a children's product safety certificate. They have to show that they have tested these products for lead, for cadmium, for these illegal levels of metals that can harm children.
Amazon will also pay about $700,000 to fund future environmental protection efforts, including future investigations into toxic children's products.
Today, Senator Maria Cantwell and several other senators announced legislation to hold federal agencies accountable for PFAS contamination. That's the chemical that contaminated the drinking water near Fairchild Air Force Base. It is linked to increased risks of cancer and impacts child development. If passed, the bill would set up cleanup deadlines. It would also make the agencies responsible for the contamination reimburse their communities. The city of Spokane is still supplying water to parts of Airway Heights nearly 2 years after that contamination was first discovered.
Well, it's the end of an era for the Seahawks. Today, the team officially released wide receiver Doug Baldwin and safety Cam Chancellor. The team says both of the players failed their physicals. Chancellor missed all of last season with a neck injury. Baldwin battled several knee injuries last year and said last month that he was considering retirement. In a statement, Seahawks general manager John Schneider said these legendary players will always be a part of our Seahawks family. Well, we are inching closer to our first 80-degree day of the year.
That sounds fun. Tom, we didn't get there today. What about tomorrow?
Well, I think we're going to get close tomorrow. Actually, I'm looking for a high of about 79 on Friday, and then we'll see the 80s over the weekend. Here's a look at over the next 12 hours. Beautiful evening, huh? 8 o'clock tonight, we drop down into the mid-60s. We'll look for partly cloudy skies in the overnight hours, and overnight lows dropping down into the 40s. I'll break down your day planner forecast. 48 the low, 79 the expected high on Friday. We'll start off with some cloud cover, but we should see sunshine by maybe late morning or mid-morning into the afternoon hours. Always looking ahead to the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, partly cloudy skies. We'll look for 82 on Saturday, 84 degrees on Mom's special day. Let's enjoy this because I've got rain later next week in the forecast. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. 19-year-old Cheyenne Souls is from Barrowdale, Washington. She was shot and killed last weekend in Virginia. She was an active duty military member stationed at a naval medical center in Portsmouth. Her family and friends are holding a candlelight vigil on Lake Coeur d'Alene Saturday to honor her memory. That vigil will start at 7:30 p.m. and will be at Independence Point. If you'd like to attend, you can find more details about that on our website. That's KREM.com. Well, 2 days after the Meade School District announced $11.3 million in budget cuts, we are still waiting to learn more about who is losing their job and who is spared. We do know the district plans to close River Point Academy and the Meade program, and that's not sitting well with several families, including one family who moved into the district specifically to attend the Meade program. Hear from them coming up on KREM 2 News at 6 tonight.
There are new developments in the efforts to revitalize one of Coeur d'Alene's more prominent streets. For years, East Sherman Avenue has served as the eastern entrance to downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Some in the city, though, say the worn-out area needs a facelift. KREM 2's Taylor Vito has more on the proposal.
Some of the proposed changes along East Sherman are already visible, much like these diagonal parking spaces and planters. These are part of a pilot project, but another notable change could be what could potentially happen to this property formerly owned by St. Vincent de Paul. Proposals for this land include places to put food trucks or even a small miniature park. It's essentially the eastern gateway into the Lake City, but one that some feel isn't terribly inviting.
It's not representative of our community, and we need to fix that.
From I-90, East Sherman runs for about a mile before hitting downtown, and it's a stretch that's traditionally been known for crime and homelessness.
I'm not very proud when people get off Interstate 90 and they drive down East Sherman and think that's Coeur d'Alene. It's not very pretty.
Stan Shedler owns an insurance company along the road, and while other parts of Coeur d'Alene have spruced up, East Sherman hasn't.
And frankly, it's been sort of that kick the can mentality where we'll get around East Sherman, and
since 2015, city leaders have been discussing ways to give the area more energy. They've been drawing off their own ideas for East Sherman improvements, but Coeur d'Alene city planner says the city did get some inspiration from seeing the turnaround of Spokane's Perry district. As for East Sherman, the city is now proposing a land swap with St. Vincent de Paul. The charity owns 2 buildings on East Sherman that were formerly transitional housing. The buildings are vacant, though, and are outdated and in need of repairs. Under the proposal, the city would buy the land for $300,000 and exchange this city-owned property with St. Vincent de Paul on Homestead Avenue, just south of I-90 and Government Way. The charity already has buildings on the land. City planners say proposals for the Sherman land could include various things like parking, a food truck court, and a farmer's market. These are examples of what the city says it could look like. Possibilities like affordable housing or a small park could be in the works too. For now, it's just all a proposal.
And these buildings just need to be removed and start over.
Schedler says he's in favor of a fresh start. He argues that new and different uses of this land could give it the jump start it needs.
If we could just get more of this stuff down here just removed, investors will feel more comfortable and confident.
And City Council is set to hold a public hearing on the proposal at their next meeting later this month. Along East Sherman Avenue, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.